let's go ahead and talk about fusing, damage, and your weapons. Hey, Levians, it is Sister Guard here. Hopefully y'all having a great day. I'm having a great day. I just noticed there's lightning effects in this area, and it's amazing. Anyway, we're back today in Weapon Fighting Simulator because I'm going to be going over fusing. This is going to be something more for our lovely free-to-play players that struggle with damage, and things like that. But if you are a pro player, I very kindly ask you to watch the video, give any tips and recommendations you have along with what I'm recommending, because it's about damage, and this is something I get a lot of players asking me about. So before we get on into the lovely video, if you haven't already, please make sure you smash the like button, do the same subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it, helps me out a lot. And let's just jump right on into it. So fusing is the act of taking one weapon in the game and fusing it into the other. This gives you XP. XP increases the level, which increases the damage. We all need this. It doesn't matter if you're a newbie or you're a pro. Everyone needs XP for weapons, and not all weapons are created equal, and they should be valued differently depending on what type of player you are, depending on how much you can hatch, and depending on your game passes. So let's kind of go over the game passes and how they affect your fusing and the boosts. So the boosts we're talking about is the ones that occur down here. So there are 2 fusing game passes, which I would recommend after you get magnet. Needs to be like the second or third thing you get. Like, these are super important, and that is ×2 fuse and ×3 fuse, and if you have them together, it actually equals ×6. Okay, and if there's an event going on, it is multiplied on top of that. So those are kind of the 3 ways that you can affect how much XP you're getting when you're fusing items. These are importante because they give you more XP and it becomes less of a grind. I'm going to give you a little bit of a story time. So before I started doing content on Weapon Fighting Sim, I actually was a full free-to-play player, and I would come and play the game until about World 3, 4, and then I started doing content and became pay to win. So I do understand the struggle of trying to fuse your weapons together. Also realize it has been made incredibly easy because we now have auto fuse. So how auto fuse works is, as you hatch, you are able to indicate what rarity you would like automatically put into your weapon. This is really great because you can also turn on auto sell, which automatically sells any rarity that you choose when you are hatching. I want to let y'all know this was not always a feature, and it made everything better. Now that we have kind of covered fusing, the sources that you can get fuse XP, note you can also get fuse XP from time trial and tree lands, and also from the gold shop. Both are really good sources, but that's not the focus of the video. Focus of the video is damage and weapons. Not all weapons are created equal. We all know as you progress through each of the worlds, the weapons from the newer zones are going to be scaled better. What I mean better is the mythical from World 1 is going to be weaker than the mythical from World 2 at the same level. Can everyone hatch a mythical or an eternal? No. Can people hatch legendaries? Yes. There is a scaling difference. Now, there's a few weapons that do not follow this rule of thumb, and that is because when they were introduced or how they are introduced changes. And the first set of weapons I'm talking about is the trifling, the hammer, and the Gungnir spear. These are all from the wheel. Now, this is based off of what area you have unlocked. So the level that they drop at is completely different than, say, a level you get them otherwise. I'm gonna let you know, because I noticed this when I was doing the other video, these are not scaled as high as our current legendaries. These are still scaled back several updates. So kind of keep that in mind, because most of our stuff is dropping at like 201. So, and this is dropping at 218, and it does that much damage. Now, I've done a video already on the legendaries, and it does not do this much. So kind of keep that in mind, that yes, you can still go and get, you know, a shiny plus trifling. I don't know why you would want to. I'm just trying to get a shiny plus so I can make a video on it. I'm really close. Like, you don't understand. But these weapons are not scaled. These weapons, yes, they will get better, so you're always can be guaranteed a weapon that actually is like at a decent level. However, these are not scaled appropriately for weapons. So choice-wise, unless you need to use them, do not use the wheel weapons. Like, don't spend time fusing them. Don't do that, okay? Focus more on trying to hatch stuff from that current world. Now, if you manage to score the God Hatch and get the Gunir at level, this is going to be the weapon you're going to want to use for that update. Especially if you've gotten to a new world. This is going to be an absolutely amazing weapon, okay? But what's the percent to get this thing? 0.5%. 0.5% on the last 2 wheels. I have only gotten this once. And I have spun the wheel every day. Yeah. Now, the next piece of equipment that is scaled differently, or acts weird, I guess you could say, is Thunderbolt, which that is a pay-to-win item. So no matter what tier Thunderbolt you have, because it is allowed for scaling, it will automatically be able to scale to the new world. So this is a item that you will forever have, especially if you have a eternal or an exotic form. This is probably something you will always keep. My alt account no longer uses her mythical Thunderbolt because it takes me more XP to fuse it up than if I was to use the local items. So kind of keep that in mind, that sometimes, yes, you may have this awesome like shiny plus mythical or whatever, but if you're 2 or 3 worlds beyond what it's been leveled for, there's no point in using it type situation. And the final item that I kind of want to discuss before we kind of go into like individual like weapons and what to focus on is the Relic Sword. So if you manage to score a shiny plus Relic Sword, these are scaled weird, okay? Weird is about the only way I can describe this item, because Eternals from, I think, 2 worlds ago, so if you still were in like World 19, are not on this, like, this is better than World 19 relics, or Eternals. So it's not bad, per se, but if you still have one now, and you're able to get a lot of Eternals, it's probably something you are no longer using. I'm just using it because half my weapons are on my alt right now, and that's all I have. So I'm going to let you know, most pay-to-win players aren't really using this anymore. If they are, it's like bottom tier. It's not one of the top tier, because when we have, you know, the exotic Thunderbolt coming out, the new exotics, stuff like that, people aren't really using this that much anymore. But if you are a free-to-play player and you manage to score this, meaning you sat online for like 68 hours? Words, I can't remember. I have boomer brain. If you manage to sit online for 68 hours to get this thing, then you're set. You're golden. Like, this is a truly good item, and I would recommend using it. Free-to-play players, this is your golden ticket. It still is pretty good right now, because here's the deal. It'll always be super good. And if you're free-to-play and have a hard time getting Eternals and Exotics, that's a good deal. Now, for the items and scaling, how the best way to look at it is, of course, you know, we already discussed Eternals from the next zone will always be better than Eternals from the previous zone. But what about the shiny pluses? Like, what about the shiny pluses from a previous world compared to the next? So, I'm going to let y'all know, this is the previous world, the Akia Bell, to the Phoenix Feather. The Phoenix Feather, I believe, I want to say is World 4. And the Akia Bell is, yeah, the Phoenix Feather is World 4. And the Akia Bell comes from the Demon Abyss. So the Akia Bell actually is not as good. However, I have a shiny form of this. So what I'm trying to get at, plebs, is if you have something that you have, say, a shiny form of, it is going to be better at level than something of the next zone that's a normal. Also keep in mind, so let me get this to go away. This is the base, this isn't the base stat. I fused some stuff in here to kind of show y'all. This is at level 36 and it only does 3.11k. If we look at the bell and the shiny form, it is 1 level lower, but it does close to 25% more damage. So I would be able to put more XP into this and be able to get more out of it than saying continuing to farm up the Phoenix Feather. So if you are still working, especially in lower level zones, or even in higher level zones, if you have items that are, you know, better tiered, it is better to try and upgrade them. I don't have any examples at the moment, but say, for example, I just had a regular shiny plus exotic. it would be more beneficial for me to be working on the Eternal if I had a shiny plus plus of the Eternal, because the exotic is going to not do as much damage. So if you kind of understanding what I'm saying with this, that just be kind of mindful of like where stuff is at. When you get it set to similar levels, kind of look at it. So this is kind of something, it's not really something I could teach. It's more of an intuitive thing. You go, oh, okay, this is better than this. So, but hopefully this gives at least a better example that, you know, I would want to keep working on the bell to be able to get that up higher. And if I happen to get 3 more Phoenix feathers and can shiny it, then it would definitely be worth my time. Because we can go ahead and check the damage to see what would happen if, you know, I was low level and I managed to get another one of these feathers. It would go up to 4.66k. So that's 500 extra damage compared to the other one that maybe is only a level or 2 behind. So, plebs, hopefully that kind of helps y'all, like, explaining the weapons, fusing, especially lower levels. I get lots of questions about, you know, I need better weapons. Part of it is understanding the weapons that you're fusing into, what you should be fusing into, what you shouldn't be. And if you are like have billion, you know, billion weapons, and you're in like say World 16, I actually had a pleb have this issue, and you're having damage issues right here. Go take the time and go farm these spells up, especially if there's a spell farm event. This is free damage. I said this in so many videos. It's free damage. Use it. So, plebs, hopefully this helps you out with fusing. Kind of help answer some questions. I did not mean to attack that. This is kind of like the weapon theory that I've been wanting to talk about. And like part of the reason why I keep those certain weapons that I do, and I work on some and others are just kind of here to look cute type situation. So, lips. Thank you so much for making it to this part of the video. I greatly appreciate it. And I will see y'all next time.